Hi, this is Victor Devon, and you are listening to We Burlesque, the podcast. Special thank you to Michelle, Joseph, Rob, Dolores, and Kelly for their recent donations. If you would like to be like them and help support this podcast, please go to patreon.com/We Burlesque. Thank you very much and enjoy the show. Burlesque podcast. This is Victor Devon, your host, and today I am speaking with the reigning queen of the New Jersey Burlesque Festival, Taradise.
Hello. Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting. Yay.
Now you are a Jersey girl. Were you born in Jersey?
Sure am. Yeah, born in Jersey. So I was born in Bloomfield, New Jersey.
I know where that is. Okay.
You do? No way. Right up by Bloomfield Avenue,
I do.
right?
I did Rocky Horror in Montclair, so Bloomfield's like right next door.
Oh my God, my sister did Rocky Horror in Montclair. She's like a tinier version of me. Oh my God, we've got to connect on this. She loved doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show there.
Oh,
and then
funny.
They moved it to the Belleville Theater, right?
Yes. We were at the screening zone, and then we did that. Yeah.
Oh my God,
I
another connection. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I did that for quite a number of years. So you were in Bloomfield for like high school, or were you just born there?
So I didn't go to high school there. I actually went to high school, the Fame School, LaGuardia Performing Arts High School in New York.
Oh, right.
So I was one of those. I was one of those people that was like, oh yeah, I totally live in New York, but I just used my uncle's address. So I commuted every single day in and out of the city to go to high school. And I was a dance major. It was pretty cool.
Is that 4 years, or is it different?
Yeah, 4 years. It's 4 years, which is great because you do half day. So when you're a freshman and a sophomore, the beginning of your day you do your academics, and then at lunch you go and do your craft. So that's for everybody. That's the drama department. That's dance. There was art. They just started tech the year that I went to high school, and music and vocal majors. So if you're a freshman or sophomore, you did your academics in the morning and then switch over, and then senior and junior year, it's reverse.
So were you like a performing arts kid, like as really young?
So I'm not a performing arts kid, more of a dancer. Like I've been in ballet classes all of my life. I would go, my summer camps would be Joffrey Ballet, American Ballet Theater. I've traveled a little bit for dance too, so it's always been dance. And I guess, because my family has always been so theatrical, my stepfather does some theater, my mom's a musician, we're all very active. I guess the theater just came to me, via like competing with all the sisters. I have 3 other sisters and 1 stepsister, so I guess. Where's the spotlight,
I know a lot of people, either they see a show or they see a movie, or there's a specific instance that they realize that dance sort of like calls them. Do you remember what that was for you?
So dance has always been a big part of my life and a bit of a release. But when I really knew that I wanted to do burlesque or like really have a straighter path, was when I saw Chicago for the first time, like many moons ago, probably like 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I remember it was this one dancer dead stared me, and I was like almost so uncomfortable, and I would look away and she'd still be looking at me, and I'm like, wow, I am never going to forget this feeling, and I want to just give someone that feeling. So
sort of
it was incredible.
That stare down moment.
That stare down, and that's exactly what burlesque is. Not to mention, I didn't have the ballet body. I was actually ashamed of it and really, told to hide it all of my ballet career because you're not supposed to have curves. It's not pretty. It's not flattering. Right. So, to get the certain part, to get Clara, I'd have to really go on a strict, Atkins-friendly diet so my hips wouldn't be so pronounced. Like, I remember dyeing my hair blonde to look younger, too. Like, girl had to do what she had to do to get a part, but now I find burlesque and it's actually celebrated. Your body's celebrated.
It's actually an asset to be voluptuous, and
isn't that crazy? And it's like a beautiful world where like you can portray whatever you want, and if you do it well and with enough truth, then everyone sees it and everyone gets it, and that's your success.
So as a voluptuous, curvier woman with hips and all that, is that difficult to, I know there's an expectation for ballet, but does it actually make it technically more difficult if you are shaped like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I cannot. So, back in the ballet day for Taradise, the arabesque, would be right up there at that 90 degrees, but now that the donk is in, rear of the year 2017, it just can't go up so high because the donk is in the way. So, and I'm okay with that because, I prefer that, but it does get in the way in the best of ways.
Well, I guess since you're able to merge ballet training as well as your, like, whatever inherently comes out in burlesque, and we'll get to your start in a second, you're able to sort of modify or remix ballet for your burlesque, and that's how you won your crown actually for New Jersey. Is you did this Black Swan routine. Where did all of that come from? Is that act a direct reference? Is that a sort of a spiritual commentary on your dance background? Where did all that come from?
So this act is fairly new, as in this costume is only a year old, but the act, I think as all performers, we've always had visions of this piece, that piece, what we want to do, what speaks to us, but this Black Swan is literally homage to the Black Swan with Natalie Portman, the movie, because she really goes through a struggle there, but it also is homage to my personal dance, background and training. I had some very, very strict, Russian, ballet teachers who expected, excellence, which I totally agree with, but when you didn't give it or you actually physically didn't have it, then it was shamed upon, and all you want to do is scream and just shed your skin, and that's what I tried to portray during the dance is the music, the classic Black Swan music. You want to go through with the arms and very soft, but there's just the evil or the real you trying to get out of there. So I, just trying to portray that to the audience and myself too. Honestly, going into the New Jersey Burlesque Festival, we all were super nervous and, just want to do our best. I just wanted to make sure that I portrayed the story correctly and especially not false. I didn't want to force anything to be okay, arm up here, and now I yearn, and over here, this count is here, so as long as it's true and honest and, not forceful, then hopefully I did an okay job.
Well, you definitely won. So, that was a really great... it was a really great show. It was standout after standout. So
God,
the differences
in that competition.
Yeah, everyone was really, really different, and everyone brought something very, very different. We had live singing with Lydia Vengeance. Uberbussen did her Beauty Queen
an act that I cried to. I cried to that. Outstanding.
It was really cool. Really cool.
And then the boys. Let's not forget the boys.
Well,
I was I'm glad I'm not. I'm glad I'm not in that competition. Oh my gosh. That was fierce.
And your king in the royal court is Rudy Valentino now.
So lucky. That's my burlesque husband now. That's it.
And you're both Jersey people, so that's very cool.
That's right.
It's not a requirement, but I think it's very cool. I think it's very cool.
Yeah, it definitely holds a special place in both of our hearts.
So where did you? So as a ballet artist, after the Fame School, after developing and all this, where did you find burlesque?
So after LaGuardia, I got a scholarship to Marymount Manhattan for a year, and I did that, and then they asked me to come back a second year, and I was like, you know what? I just want to go and do auditions. So I did the whole cattle call, cruise ship auditions, left, right. Call back here, call back there. Taradise is not blessed with the singing voice. So, the 16 bars of Happy Birthday wasn't cutting it. at those auditions. But that's okay because I still went and I still printed out that score sheet for Happy Birthday. You better believe it. But there was an audition in a local, I forgot where I found it. I think it was online, I'm sure, on Facebook, that there was a cabaret audition happening in, I think it's Milford, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So I was like, cool. I mean, I would love to. I just want to perform. Like, I just want to get out there and dance. So that's where I met Vivi Noir, actually. Okay. And Erin Pride. They were putting together their own little cabaret company. They were kind of figuring stuff out as well as we were, and that's kind of how I got started in the burlesque world, getting introduced to it. So that was a lot of fun. It was cool. I met a lot of great, fantastic people like Vivi Noir. And from there, I just was like, you know what? I want to try and do this, you know, as a solo act, Taradise. Actually, Vivi Noir gave me my tagline, "You have a one-way ticket to Taradise." So, you know, it's super fun. I wish I could see her more. She's a little too far away from me down the shore, but, you know, whenever we do have a booking together, it's fun to reminisce.
Did you do any of the Atlantic City stuff with her?
No, I actually did the a while ago, like the tattoo convention, the painted. We had like body paint on, and we were like Little Red Riding Hood, and I was the wolf, and we did like a cage act. That was actually a lot of fun. Now that I'm thinking about that, I was sick. Yeah.
Where along the lines did you meet Pearl Noir?
So after that, I kind of did my own thing in New York, the Nurse Betty's, Hotel Chantel's, met a bunch of people. And then, you know, I'm always looking for that audition because, you know, as performers, we got to be grinding. So I saw that Pearl Noir was having auditions for a house. And I was like, wow, that sounds like a great opportunity. I'm always dying. My thing is, you know, especially I think probably as a ballerina, ballet dancer, we always are looking to improve. Like there's never settling. That could probably be said for all of our performers. I'm sure, you know, we're our own worst critics and we always want to improve. But I desperately wanted a mentor, someone that can kind of like guide me, help me, and you know, not just like a professional dance way, but also like as a woman too. You know, I had some lessons here and there with some local New Yorkers, but when Pearl had that audition out on the Facebook, I was like, wow, this seems like, you know, full dancing. I was like, cool, you know, I just got to stretch the day before, no problem. But so I walked in not really knowing anything. I'm not sure if she even knows that, but I walked into the audition not knowing anything, really open-minded. Of course, I've like researched her on YouTube and saw what she was about. That, you know, always have to do your research whenever you're going anywhere. That's especially one thing she taught us. But so went in and the audition was full on. Everyone was dressed to the nines, but it was a full on choreography. 16 counts of Man with the Golden Arm, that music. So it was really pretty. But then there was also a segment of the audition where you just walked. And she's like, show me your personality and walking. And I thought that was brilliant because, I mean, walking seems easy, seems no problem, but you could really see somebody in their poise in their walk, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or should we say strut, you know?
Well, that's the thing also for a lot of people who don't know Pearl Noir. She does seem so if anybody needs like a reference, like a queer reference, like a ballroom house mother, like she really does seem like they're like, yes, this is what I need. This is what I need. Like if you get hand gestures out of her, you know you're on the right track.
Yes.
I think that the more the more unmoved she is, the worse you're doing.
Absolutely. So one thing she always says is, I'm bored. I hate being bored. So you're like, oh, shit. And so as for a dancer going from dancing into burlesque, if I heard this maybe like 4 years ago, I'd be like, cool, I'm going to go ahead and do my split jumps and then my fouettes. But being bored to her means that you're not connecting with her and you're not moving me in any way. You could actually make her unbored if you stood there and like looked deep into her soul.
Right. It's not just about technique.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. It's actually, you know what, it should be kind of thrown out the window. I mean, I'm just kind of, I guess, lucky to have a little bit, but it almost is a bit of a burden because I fall back on it. I get nervous if I'm just standing there. I'm like, oh shit, people are bored. Oh my God, let me do something flashy. No.
Yeah. There's stillness.
No.
And I remember seeing, it was at the New York Burlesque Festival, and you all did Annie Lennox's I Put a Spell on You. And the stillness in that act is, I think, really what makes it the most effective, because there's, how many of you? There's 5 of you and then Pearl? Or
so there's 6 of you?
There's 6 of you.
Yeah, 6 of us and Pearl, yeah.
So, there's very purposeful movement in it, and it's the stillness that really connects it, because it's like when you get to catch your breath, you realize suddenly, oh, right, I have to react to this, otherwise I'm going to pass out. And
so true.
That seems a lot. Pearl has a lot of moments, she's really into the moments and connecting, those dots. It's not just about the complete act as a whole. It's let's see these individual microscopic points that connect, that make the actual act.
You couldn't have said it any better. Absolutely. And that needs to be polished too. You think that standing was super easy. That act, we rehearsed for 2 weeks straight. And let me tell you, you've seen that act, people that are listening, we did not move out of our V. We literally did not move during the entire act. And it's still, because she's got that very specific bevel, her Pearl Noir trademark bevel that you have. If it wasn't, that we would spend probably a rehearsal on the bevel and walking, especially when we first began. So that was something else.
When you're choreographing with these other performers that are all of different backgrounds and strengths and the choices that they make, are these group acts, are they all Pearl's vision, or is it somewhat collaborative? Does everyone need to bring in their piece for Pearl to be happy, or does she want to construct it bit by bit?
Oh yeah, all of the acts are Pearl.
Okay.
100%. It's very rehearsals and creating new acts with Pearl is as an experience in itself, and it's actually quite what I'd imagine that Bob Fosse how he would create something is complete silence, let him go, let him work. She'll give us an 8 count with music, put it together, and if it doesn't work, 2 seconds, and she has something even more brilliant than before. She'll ask us every once in a while, does that feel okay? If we're, I guess, wobbling. But it's very rare that she will want a suggestion, because she probably already figured it out. But she is cautious about, because whenever we do perform, it is full on, whether it's the emotional full on or it's, physical. We just did our step down, and that was a physical number at Burlesque Hall of Fame. So she's cautious about how to treat your body and what you need before it. But when she's choreographing or creating or, presenting a number, very, very rarely will she ask for any opinions, because she already has it. She's got a very specific vision, and that's why I guess she works she's so successful, is because it's so clear, it's so direct. You don't need anyone to pantomime anything for you. You could figure it out with, again, just the look from her, Well,
and also she's curated the group, so she knows what all of your strengths are already. So it seems like she's using the insight that she's gained from working with you to be no, I know what you're capable of, so I know what you should be doing, and
absolutely.
I'm not going to lead you. She's not going to lead you wrong.
Oh God, no. And that's one of the things we all had to do immediately when we first walked in the first rehearsal, is leave all of your questions at the door and trust that you are in good hands, even if it does not seem organic to you. You are in good hands. And we've all, it was a struggle for all of us at first, because you don't know what to expect, but we have to trust each other. That's what families do. You just
right.
Trust.
So you tell me a little bit about...
You've got Pearl.
Yeah?
You have Pearl so down, by the way. You have her exact wording, too. It's phenomenal. Oh, my gosh. She'd be very proud.
I'm supposed to chat with her, actually, in a couple of weeks, so hopefully I'll know for a fact if she approves.
Oh, you definitely will.
explain to our audience who the other gems are in the House of Noir.
Ooh. Excellent. Okay, so the House of Noir includes Taradise, the reigning New Jersey burlesque queen. Cough, cough.
And if you want to tell me like a little bit about each of the flavors that each of them bring, that would be cool too.
Okay, excellent. So we'll just go right. We'll start with Poison Ivory. She's a Miss Exotic World winner. She is a very polished performer. She works. I think one of her strengths are her fan dances, which she actually has learned from Pearl. She has grown so much. I mean, she's always been an amazing performer, but she's grown so much with this house emotionally and dance-wise too, because she has a dance training as well. I think all of us do, but I have seen like straighter and pointer feet from her than I've ever done. So that's, very nice to see. She's great and she's very caring. She's in the house. Poison is definitely a nurturer, as in she could tell if something's going on here, something's going on there. She'll be the one to voice it, which, it's always good to just, say how you feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next one is Pearl's Daily. Oh my goodness. This is our dance captain and absolute breath of fresh air in this company. She's a little vintage model as well, always looking put together. We always do though, but she always brings it to the next level. Her bubbly personality and her intensity, those are two opposite things, but they're both very, very apparent when she's performing. She is the theatrical child in the company and definitely someone I look up to as well, for sure. And then we have Miss Tutu Toussaint. She is our Amazon queen in this house. She's got legs for days,
yes,
hair that she whips around left and right, and she's the one that actually has been like kind of, Pearl's been like, I want you guys to walk like Tutu, and she's got the very like, marching band, like, dance team walk where it's like the hips, da, 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 da. She's got sass and flavor, but she also, working with her this weekend, she gives you the tea and the lemonade too, if you know what I mean. She'll tell you how it is, but then also be like, well, this is why that happens there. Like, she's soft-spoken, which makes her even more intriguing, to be honest. But she's great. And then our other gem, Lillian, is in, well, I guess they just closed company XIV. She was in Cinderella, being the stepmother. So she's just on hiatus right now with us. And then our final one is Miss Busy LeBois. Oh, this girl is stunning. She is brand new. Not really, because she's been with us for 2 years, but she's brand new to the burlesque world. She doesn't perform as much as I think she should, maybe, scheduling and whatnot, but she's got this amazing look, light eyes, fierce blonde, spiky little hair, and it's just, so she does this one act that I think should be her signature act now. It's in her Seven Deadly Sins show. She's Lust, and she's trying to portray Marilyn Monroe, and it's just her with like a red flowy silk and just like a harness. It's stunning, and she's got some still moments in there that will give you goosebumps. She's also a lawyer. She's a lawyer of the company. Can you believe that?
Oh, it's very useful to have.
Right? Oh my God, LLCS girl.
So you mentioned your Seven Deadly Sins show. So that is a group acts and solo acts, correct?
Correct. All choreographed by Pearl. So we do an opening number, a closing one, and then all of us have our own sins, and she choreographs each and every one of them. So that's fully produced and choreographed show from Pearl.
I'm sure as a ballet artist, you're used to form and choreography and and the structure of it. How much improvisation do you feel comfortable doing, or even are you allowed, or is that just no? We just don't do that.
No, she definitely gives us opportunities to improv at certain moments, but in our solos, they are choreographed, but she'll, she knows, just like you said, she knows us all very well.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's like basically doing you the favor by doing that.
Oh my God, yeah. It's literally, yeah, but you know what? It's not even a favor. It's more like a challenge, and I'm not going to give you the easy thing. Why would I do that? I need to push you, so normally, so if when she choreographed my Envy act, I'm Envy in the show, by the way, normally my comfort zone would be like, cool, jete, split, boom, move. I am very still throughout the entire act, especially halfway through the half point. I just am standing and just feeling, and I'm like, cool, I know what you're doing there. But I see you, and I'm going to rise to that challenge. But
what's
she
different
definitely
about?
caters.
Oh, sorry, say that again.
She definitely caters to your needs and also what she says that you need, which is true. And again, there's that trust that you have to have in her. You might be like, oh, I know I look like crap doing this number. I don't feel good doing it. She's doing it for a reason. She's a genius in that. She's Pearl Noir, legend. Hello.
How long does it usually take for an act to fully form?
Fully form? A year.
A year?
Yeah. Yep. Our step down number, the Rise of the Phoenix, the second we stepped off the stage last year when we won Best Large Group at Burlesque Hall of Fame, she was like, okay, excellent. So I'll have an email in your mailbox of what our act is going to be next year. Rehearsals will start Monday, and thank you very much. And we're just like, cool, crap, let's go. We got to get going. We're already late. You know what I'm saying? So, because you'll have the idea, you'll run it a few times. We have to all be together at the same time, too. Mm-hmm. It's hard. Even if one person's out, energy's not the same. Mm-hmm. So you have to consider that.
Your schedules. I mean, Pearl was just with Dita Von Teese on tour. All of you are individual performers and have a lot of you also have other day jobs that don't involve burlesque. So it's a lot of working parts. 7 people is a lot to juggle.
It really, really is, and somehow we do make it work. I'll jump back to when she was on tour with Dita when she first started the house. She would be gone for some of our rehearsals, maybe almost a month, and no, maybe not a month, at least 2 to 3 rehearsals, and we'd rent the studio space, and she would have one of her friends, either Ula or someone else, coming over with a laptop, and she'd be Skyping with us. So she'd be in her hotel room. I think she was in Australia at one time in the hotel room at whatever hour o'clock, and the laptop's out, and she's like, cool, you guys can stretch, and we're stretching, and she's like, okay, and she's like, we'll be stretching. She's like, just point those toes over there, Tutu. She's actually watching us stretch. Okay, Tara, just make sure that you really stretch your neck. And we're like, okay, cool, great. And then she'll teach us a combo, and she'll be like, okay, zoom in here, here, here. She does not waste any time. I think she sees waste of time as a missed opportunity, and I really appreciate that.
What was the act that won Best Group?
So that was our New Orleans Serenade, or Serenade, should I say, excuse me. And that was choreographed probably a little over a year because there was a large amount of elements, and it changed a few times, and it had to be under the 4-minute rule for Burlesque Hall of Fame. And the costuming was very, specific, and, it was a big jump to, submit Pearl Noir's first time. The first time we even submitted anything to anywhere was there, and we were very lucky and blessed enough to get accepted to even go, which was amazing. And then, to have one first year out was, guys, let's cool our jets, but we all just wanted to run,
Yeah.
So it's we all are very humble and looking and saying that this is not a normal thing. We are not doing anything normal, actually, but this is a blessing. I mean, I'll say that I'm not sure what the other girls, how they feel, to be thankful for, but I'm blessed with what I have, and I don't take any of it for granted whatsoever.
What is a weekend? I've actually yet to get to the Burlesque Hall of Fame, but what is that whole process for you like?
Victor, you have got to go.
I'm hoping to, hopefully soon.
Okay, let's talk next year because I would like to go next year, even if I don't get in to perform. But so as the House de Noir Burlesque Hall of Fame weekend, which is the only thing I know, is probably different from a normal person going to BHOF, is what they call it, Burlesque Hall of Fame BHOF. So our House de Noir, we always have a schedule of looks and outfits. So that's number one. So you arrive. So the show, there's a Tournament of Teas Thursday show, which is, not Tournament of Teas. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Thursday starts the Innovators, Movers, and Shakers show, which is, there are performers from all over that maybe have an act that's like super interesting or something that's pushing the bar. There's a lot of neo burlesque in there. There's also some classic. It's just a lot of people that can create a collaborative show. Friday is the Legends show. So for everyone that's listening to this, Burlesque Hall of Fame is a fundraiser for the Burlesque Hall of Fame Museum and our legends. The whole reason why we go there is for the people and women and men and whomever have paved our ways to be here. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have any sort of inspiration or even direction of where to go, you know. So that Friday night is the opportunity when any legend, you know, can come up and perform their number. And then they also have a little, you know, legends, the 50s little walk of fame across the stage, the 60s, and then 70s.
What is the criteria for the legend? What's the cutoff?
So there's no cutoff. I mean, they start the walk of fame at the 50s. So I'm guessing, you know, that starts right there, the 50s, maybe some here and there. I guess someone who has really influenced the community and has given back and, you know, really paved the way and made things, you know, what they are now.
Did their work back in the day.
Oh my God, did more than work. Let me tell you, I'll get back to that. They definitely did, and I'll go back to that. So there was a volunteer program there where you can be an escort for one of the legends. And since it's my second year there and I wasn't competing, we were just doing a step down, I was like, I need to help out someone. And what you do as an escort for a legend is that if they are doing a signing or if they have a tech rehearsal, you want to make sure that you walk them there. If they need water, if they got to go get their hair done, blah, 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 you do whatever you got to do. I was honored with the legend Georgetta Dante. She is a Vegas local, and she was one of the youngest circus performers.
Oh, okay.
Her mother, Delilah Dante, was a circus performer traveling, and she just went right on in there. And she was, let me tell you, Tigger, I think, matched us up, and let me tell you, it was like peas in a pod. This chick was running around with her phone, videotape here, videotape here. I was like her little personal assistant, which I loved because, you know, let you go, I need a video of you to put on your Facebook. Let me go ahead and film you. And then we'd be sitting down in her row, and she'd be like, can you get a film of that? Can you get a film of that? Yeah, honey. Oh, yeah, I worked with her a long time. Yeah, I'm in her book right there. I got to get her book. Oh, yeah. I've known them in show business. Oh, yeah. I loved her. Oh, my God, so great. So that's Friday, the Legend Show. And then Saturday is the Tournament of Teas. This is a competition for Best Debut, for Best Small Group, which is less than 4, Best Large Group, which is more than 4, and then Boylesque and Queen of Burlesque. Okay. Now, this year, I was not envious in the least bit to be on that stage because that competition was fierce. Oh my God, so inspirational, so great. It was outstanding work from every single one of them, especially the reigning now Miss Exotic World. So Inga, now she rocked her act. Now we were able to speak with her as a house before the show, and she's like, yeah, I'm still rhinestoning. You know, she's just very excited to be there. Her act was originally 7 minutes. She cut it down to be under the 4-minute mark, and she took her dress off in like maybe 10 seconds into the act. It was a beautiful, beautiful peachy red at the bottom. It was a beautiful takeoff, and then she went right all the way down stage center with this looked like a bearskin rug, and she was just, you know, with her pasties and her stockings and just gave you face. So what her gimmick was, I shouldn't even say gimmick, what her winning portion of this act was was her stocking peel. So, people that don't know stocking peel, get those sheer thigh-high nylons right up to the thighs. You take them off, you flex back your toes so you've got a little bit of reaction. I'm actually doing it as I'm talking right now. And you pull your foot, big toe opposition as your other hand, so there's a bit of a stretch with the stocking, and then you point your toe and the stocking just flies off. This chica over here goes ahead and does the one. Okay, you're giving us a tease, no problem. Then she flips it over in the back, still not coming off her toe, flips it back again, like all these shapes she's making. I'm like, wow, that's really amazing. Oh, not done yet. Let's go ahead and do that other one, the other leg. So right now she's like Cirque du Soleiling the nylons, and we're like, oh my God, how is she so confident that they're not going to come off? Like, that's very risque. Like, you don't know if like your toe might flex at some point, but this act was so polished, even like pulling it through, like with all that, it was so good. And she nailed it. The shapes, and I've never seen a stocking peel like that, and I never will ever again. Oh my God. Inga, the stocking peel queen. And she's also the nicest person ever, too. Like, so sweet. Her reaction when they called her name was nothing but pure joy and, like, shock. We all jumped up. We're all crying in the audience. She just has no idea what's going on. Amazing. And then Sunday, of course, Sunday, is the Legends panel. So this is when all the legends sit down in a big convention type of area, and they introduce themselves and what they've done with the, craft and where they are now, and we get to ask them questions, and they have so much insight and so, like, such wisdom as to, what to give us, because they've been there, and, they were the ones getting arrested in their clubs that they produced because they weren't allowed to be this way. But guess what? Rubber Legs, he used to produce all sorts of shows here and there, left and right. But here's one story that it absolutely got me, and it's just like a genius move. So he's like, we had a, big show coming up. One of our performers went up, topless. Cool, there's a raid. All right, I'll be right back. I just have to use the restroom real quick. He goes into his office and calls up every single newspaper in town and tells them what's going on. So that way when he walks out, press here, press there, press there. Guess what? He has a full house the next night. Like, that's brilliant. Hello, market yourself.
And this is happening. Goodness. This is happening even still. I mean, Lillian Bustle is experiencing this in Jersey City right now.
Oh my God.
So it's all cyclical, and everyone needs to pay attention because history is going to repeat itself unless we stop it.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, absolutely. And then to close out tonight is the Icons and All-Star Show, which is a show with a lot of past winners, current step-down numbers like us. We actually were lucky enough to close out the Burlesque Hall of Fame weekend, which was really nice. But and then you have a bit of a glitter crash Monday because it's just so much. Like, it is a lot because especially for the house, the second you step out of your room, you better have your eyebrows done, your lips done, and sunglasses on, even if you're going to go get that ice down the hall. Like, it's a presentation. You have to present yourself. We're very new to this world, and the New York and the New Jersey burlesque area, like, we are very big to begin with, but then you go all the way over to Burlesque Hall of Fame in Vegas, and you're like, oh, cool, this is what we're doing here. Cool. Yeah. And it's just,
it's really international. We had people from all over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I call it the Olympics of burlesque. But, it is, again, I said Olympics, but it is a fundraiser first and foremost. Yes, the crown and the title and, competing is a big honor to be a part of, and some performers do get wrapped up in that. How could you not? We always want to do our best, but it is about the legends. This is why we're here.
And
we have
a
to
lot
give
of that
back.
money also goes to the Burlesque Hall of Fame museum, which is accessible to the public, and people can learn about our history. And it covers, like, from earliest beginnings through its influence in entertainment all the way up through the neo renaissance of the 80s and 90s, and then today. So you really get a good. I gotta get there because I want to make sure that I not only support
pay your dues, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and I like to keep aware of myself, but I like to keep aware of what has been. But I kind of want to go to there's something to be said about going to a place where that's all like collated together, so that you get like this wham bam of history all at once. Rather than
it is quite amazing.
You can go seek it out. You can find like bits and pieces, but fortunately, the people behind the museum and people behind Beehoff have done a lot of the legwork and done their scavenger hunts and put it all together, which is really cool.
That's so perfect to say that. Yeah, they just moved into their permanent home now in Vegas, so I was definitely lucky enough to get there before the week started. Poison Ivory and myself. Rented a car and we drove there and we paid our dues, and it was beautiful. Absolutely stunning. They've got a nice little pro shop in there with all sorts of goodies. And then the museum itself, it starts out just like you said. It's almost like you were there, boo. But it starts out in your timeline and it wraps around the entire, circumference of the entire place. And in between it's like, pastries from here, pastries from there, Josephine Baker's here, and and then they have a specific neo-burlesque wall where, I don't want to say anything, but it's definitely our people, the New York, New Jersey people are on that wall, which is very, very happy about. Pearl's on the wall, with their signature split, which is quite amazing, and they just put up this amazing pasty wall too. Pasties, yay! Which is so great, and they've done such a great job. They even have some old, like you said, they did their scavenger hunt and got some old memorabilia, and they have one of Dixie Evans' honk 3 times for the ranch. So Dixie Evans created the Goat Ranch, and this is where she housed and supported all the local performers, and all are welcomed, ready to go. And she started Miss Exotic World that way, and one of the signs was honk 3 times and then drive in. She wanted the 3 honks, that way she could pop on her boudoir and her little scarf and her sunglasses and welcome you right on in. But that sign was right there, and so many photos. It just was so great to see. Even my legend photos up there, it was so cool to see.
So you've made your way back. You're back in New Jersey.
Yes.
Tonight is the night of the 16-hour sleep in 45 minutes that you'll probably have before moving on to the next thing. But how do you, because you obviously have a great affinity and a great respect for what has come before, how do you maintain an energy and an excitement about what is still to come in burlesque or burlesque in the present moment?
Well, I think because the way I can stay so excited and motivated is because there's so much still to learn, you know, especially coming back from, you know, an inspiring weekend like Burlesque Hall of Fame. And, you know, I guess I had an added bonus because right before I left, I was at the New Jersey Burlesque Festival experiencing, you know, great art as well, you know, with a little bit of an added bonus, but, you know. But so going into Burlesque Hall of Fame with that type of inspiration and then getting like almost like, whoa, you can do that? Whoa, that's something else. Wow, I love what you did here. It's weird to come back to the Muggle life, you know, where you're not surrounded by, you know, your sparkly friends. It's weird to come back to, I mean, believe me, the bed is going to be very nice tonight, but it's weird to come back and, you know, be watching my teen mom on my TV right now on my Chase Lounge. It is weird. And, you know, to keep the motivation up, it's only, you know, the excitement about your next gig, the excitement about how you're going to incorporate that in there. And that's just, again, it goes back to being hungry for, you know, improvement in your art. And if you know, it only happens if you really want it. And I think, you know, if you don't really want it, then you'll never get it. And you can't force it either.
It's a hustle. Yeah, it's a real hustle. And it's a mental hustle too. It's keeping yourself engaged and interested. That's hard. It's hard. It's hard because it sometimes imposter syndrome can hit, or just daily life can hit. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. It's like any other.
It is hard. Yeah, it's hard to turn that switch on when you don't want to.
Yeah.
But you've got a gig and you've got to do it because remember this is what you love. But all I want to do is, you know, crawl on the couch and just be in my space for a minute. Yeah, I totally get it.
I was going to ask what your pre-show ritual is to sort of get your head in the game is. Do you have anything that you always have to do or that you like to do your best?
So I listen to the music. Like if I have a gig at night, I'm listening to that song. Even if I know it like the back of my hand, I'm listening to that at all times. And it's just in my ears, just being on repeat. That way, if I ever like do catch it, I should be like, ooh, what am I doing at that point right there? Because I need to know this act, whatever it is, front and back. That way I'm not distracted by the movement. I'm more, you know, engaged with like the emotional connection. So I do listen to the music religiously. I definitely got to use my Sally Hansen silky leg spray on my legs because those gotta look real nice. And then I also, of course, even if I'm just standing at, you know, the little box at Nurse Betty, I'm stretching because, you know, God forbid you pull something. And, you know, maybe just, you know, 1 tequila rocks, 2 limes. That's all.
Just to get the ball rolling.
Just to get the ball rolling, tequila rocks, 2 limes. Because, you know, sometimes we get in our heads too much. But the tequila rocks, 2 limes, Patron, please. You know, it helps to take the edge off just a bit. No more, just 1 now, you know, Victor, just 1. Because, you know, let's not get crazy.
Well, you'll reward yourself with another after you're done. If you
That's what we do there. See, you did it, so you get another one.
When you're, so obviously we talked about how Pearl Noir creates the group acts, how all of those, and also your solo acts for the theme shows. Now, you are your own choreographer, or at least your own act developer from the start, even if you have help or work. What do you do to begin a new act, or how do you put all that together?
That's a really great question. I love that. So it's not even all the same too. Like it's always so different. So my first act that I've ever really developed was my signature act, my Kokomo act. And that started with the imagery of how I wanted Taradise to be portrayed as a performer. And it's point shoes, the hula skirt, and a big palm tree that lights up. So I started with the imagery first and the costuming, and I found the song, you know, with trial and error with, I forgot what the other one was, but all of a sudden Mama Dice was like, why don't you do Kokomo? And I was like, cool, done, thank you. Now, the Black Swan, how that started was a costume alone. I know I wanted a fitted corset with feathers. I know I wanted a skirt that can break off and become wings. Mm-hmm. And then the song, that took so long because I wanted it to be so specific. I had a perfect idea of what I wanted to portray here and there. And I don't mix music, so I have to, I had to hire someone and rely on someone to see what I was seeing, which, of course, it's a little difficult, but got that done. But I think it's more of how I personally see it, I guess it's the imagery and what I want to see on the stage. And then music has been a bit of an issue for me connecting with my acts because I'm actually not sure why, but it's not I'm telling myself this, that there's this one act I have. It's my purple flowy act. That's what I call it because there's actually no song to it. It used to be to Unforgiven with a string quartet doing it from Metallica. Mm-hmm. And it just, it was pretty, but it just didn't work. And I was like, okay, let me try something more classic because it's very classic. So then I chose Sway With Me, and it's all right. It's okay. It doesn't really work.
That's to go from Apocalyptica Unforgiven to Sway, that's a leap.
It's a leap because it just was, I was really, and I was stretching to figure it out because I was forcing it and I had to stop because I didn't even believe what I was doing, where I was going with it. I didn't believe it. So I was like, cool, let's try something super classic. And I went with that and I was like, okay, definitely forcing this as well. And, I was talking to Calamity Chang at one of the shows and she was like, oh, I have seen this act, but this is different music. And I was like, I just, I had to change it up. She's like, you know what? There's this one act that she has this red dress act. And she's like, that song took me years to find, and now I finally found the good fit. So that was reassuring that, I'm not the only one out there. But now the purple act is finally has a name, and it's ready to go. It's to When Doves Cry by Prince. So
see, if you had
it was nice.
The purple one, it's right there in front of your face. But sometimes,
damn it.
What is your favorite music to perform to? Do you like the idea of doing I don't know. I don't know. I would say, is it Grand Jeté? Am I saying that correctly?
Oh, Grand Jeté. Oh my God, that was so sweet. Yeah, the Grand Jeté.
All right. Are you able? Do you feel comfortable doing such movements to rock music? Do you like that juxtaposition?
Absolutely. That's so fun to go with the classic ballet movement to Man on Fire, or Man on Fire, I'll keep that. Man on Fire. I love making the contrast between beautiful movement and such hard, a song with accents, even if it's not a rock song, something like the flowy purple dress. It's very flowy and pretty, but Prince's, When Doves Cry is da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, it's, so it's cool to mix the soft with the hard music because, everyone expects you to go, okay, cool, the music is this, go this way. No, I want to do something different. I need you to remember me.
So what is your hopes for in the coming years? You have this group that you're doing your aces with, but then you're also developing this individual personality and awareness. I mean, you just won a crown, and you can ride on that as much as you want to become an individual that just goes further and further. What do you hope to do?
So, for the future for Taradise, I really just want to make sure I'm getting out there, and I guess that's just super not fancy or anything, but I just want to make sure I'm out in the community and present in the burlesque world, whether it's going to go see shows or, being a part of, Burlesque Hall of Fame with donations. I just want to be more involved with the community. It's hard coming from in and out of New Jersey. It's just, I'm still living here. It's just way cheaper to sleep here. You know, I got a full room, in New Jersey rather than there.
A lot of New Yorkers are drifting into Jersey, too.
You know, because they feel our energy, boo. They want to come over here.
I mean, also, like, the living in New York is so expensive, and gigging to gigging, like, you're losing half your paycheck sometimes to travel. And that's rough.
It is rough. But you know what, like, gigging, which is great, like, so when I do the gigs, I'm one of those gypsy job girls. Mm-hmm. I have like 75,000 million little side hustles. One of them is I still work at Hooters in Manhattan. So I'll do the day shift there, bartending, and then I'll go downstairs in the dressing room and I'll put my face makeup on and then do like the Apothec or Hotel Centel or Nurse Betty. That way it's like I'm killing two birds with one stone. Yeah, it's a long day, but you know, it is worth it. I mean, of course I'll come in for whatever, but the traveling back and forth, like not even financially, but time-wise, that takes a toll. Like I wish I had like just a subway ride to get back home, you know, especially for the late nights. That's probably one of the reasons why I don't go see shows as much as I really should, is because, damn, I just want like 2 hours of sleep. That'd be cool.
Do you drive?
I do, yeah. I do. Not the best. I am definitely a typical chick driver. But, you know, like if it rains or snows, I am inside the house. And I mean like a little trickle of rain. Because my little car, my car is called Tootsie's, my grandmother's car, God rest her soul. And that Tootsie's a Toyota Echo. That is a tiny little one. And she definitely does one of those snake things, even on the slightest of slick roads. But, you know, it's cool. Did you know that I was a stunt driver in Ghostbusters, though? As I'm talking about how bad of a driver I am.
No, tell me what that means.
A stunt driver. So, I know, right? God, hire me. So, I'm in the union. I'm in the SAG union, and they needed a female stunt driver because they hired, I guess, too many males. And I was like, cool. My agent called me up, and he was like, hey, do you have a car? And I was like, yep. And he goes, can you send a video of you going in reverse back straight? And I said, cool, no problem. We did not send him the first take of that because the first take was not a straight line. But I did it. I brought it back, and he was like, cool, you're going to be a stunt driver on Ghostbusters. It's filming in Boston, although they said it's in New York. Lies.
Well, I'm sure it's easier.
And
it's easier to,
I know.
to close off roads and everything.
Oh, yeah, and that's the whole point. They had to close off roads, and instead of us circling around the block, they had us just go from the 2 blocks down and then back all the way straight back. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, you know, don't hit nobody, but yeah.
Is that your only stunt driving credit?
That is the only stunt driving credit, thank goodness, because you know what? That was tough. I was there for 2 days, but I was sweating each and every day. That was rough. Oh, going backwards for like 3 blocks.
How did you get your SAG card? Were you in commercials?
So I got my SAG card because I've done like, you know, little TV things here and there, but I got hired to be the body double for Margot Robbie in Wolf of Wall Street. So
were you really?
Surprise!
Wow. Did you work with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, so let me tell you the whole story about it.
All right.
So they were like, cool. So Margot, she doesn't want to be naked, no problem. They're like, cool. Let's see your hands. Let's see your legs. Like you needed specific shots of like my hands and legs. So I was mostly going to be in the pink room when Leo was supposed to be coming right into the crotch. Mm-hmm. So that was supposed to be me, as well as the fully nude one as well. So they're like, cool, you're hired. We need to get your hair and nails done. You have to sign this contract. And it said, you know, will you be okay with like simulating sex scenes with your principal partner? And I wanted to write on that contract, we don't have to simulate anything. Leo and I could actually do that. There doesn't need to be simulation. Leo and Taradise can actually, you know, do that. That's fine. I don't mind. I'll take one for the team. But when I first
you're a giving actress. You're committed.
I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Be really in the character. But my sister and I, of course, love Leo. And when I told her, what I got, she was just like, "Oh my God, Leo!" So getting to set, I got a trailer. I was in the trailer reading the scenes and all that jazz, and I got fitted, and I get to the set, and everyone's there, everyone's hanging out, and Martin Scorsese. There's Margot Robbie did an interview, I think, on the Letterman show about this, that she had a stunt double, a body double ready to go for all of her nude scenes, but Martin Scorsese was like, "Why do you not want to do this? You're beautiful. Why don't you want to do this? I don't understand." Kind of one of those things. And she's like, "Okay, I'll do that." Okay. So she wound up doing everything herself, although I was right there on set. It's okay that, my kuka's not all over, Wolf of Wall Street everywhere, so I guess I'm okay with that. But one thing that's so crazy is that I'm still getting residual checks for that crap.
Wow.
And I did not even set my foot on the set with the camera. Like, that's crazy. So that's how I got my SNAC card. And then, here and there, little things, picked up myself, Pearls Daly, and Ginger Twist were just in The Marvelous Miss Maisel. And this was our first time getting speaking roles. Our first speaking role. And let me tell you, Victor, I have never had an acting class in my entire life. So I will give pat on the back to myself and Mama Dice, because you got to act. Got to act to make it work, especially on stage or in front of people you don't enjoy. Let's be quite honest about that.
You're also in the service industry. If you're working as a bartender, that also is connecting with people and not coming off as that person who doesn't really care, because you want your customers to be happy.
Absolutely. You couldn't have said that any better. Yes, that facade that, trained so hard on, to be like, absolutely. Vodka soda coming right up. I don't even know your name, but you come in all the time. Thank you so much, sir, for all your money.
Well, thank you very much for chatting with me. I know you
Thank
probably
you so much for having me. This was amazing.
I'm glad I could at least help contribute to your come down from an insane weekend.
This was so great. You were great. This is such a great recap. I got to talk, instead of talking to myself in my house by myself about, all the sparkly things that happened, I got to talk to you. So that was cool. Instead of talking to myself like a crazy person, like, "Oh God, do you remember that act? Do you remember that act?" I got to talk to you about it. I love that.
Very glad to. Is there anything else you want to either shout out or say or tell people who are, I don't know, fledgling burlesquers or people that are interested in the scene, what they should check out?
If you are interested in burlesque, do it. If you have a little inkling, do it. But I'm not saying just go ahead and hire yourself on a stage. I mean, do the research, put the time in, figure out who your character is, because the fact that you have a spark and, a passion to do it is great, but we, as performers take this extremely seriously and, put a lot of our time, effort, and, emotions into it, so don't take it lightly. But also, if anyone wants to reach out, has any questions for me, please feel free to even send a message. Any questions? I would love, love, love to talk and share anything I can with you guys. Taradise Burlesque on Instagram, Taradise Bizup on Facebook, or any other way. I mean, should I give my phone number out right now? But let's not do that.
I'll include the links in the footnotes of the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, and don't forget, do your research. That's all.
Well, thank you, Taradise. I really appreciate it. And continue to dazzle and amaze, and hopefully I will be able to witness at least some of the dazzle very soon.
Thank you so much for having me. You are amazing. Kisses.
Thank you very much.